All honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS. Shalom to the hopeful elect, preaching his word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you ribs, to you sisters out there learning in silence and staying in order. Right, back at you with another lesson. Things are starting to spice up, right? And for me personally, it has me, excited and, at the edge of my seat, so to speak. Some people get excited for like sports arenas. Some people get excited, to watch football. I don't really watch those sports. I do watch boxing, but this right here, the Lord sport, man, is a lot more interesting. Right now we have the king of Babylon sending chariots, right, ships and airplanes and things of that nature over to the Middle East, stirring up and provoking all the other nations like Iran, right? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is activating those hooks, to draw in the nations towards the land of Armageddon, which is the Lord's judgment. Right, let's read a little bit of this. It says, another U.S. Navy carrier strike group is headed to the waters near Israel, where it'll join a large amount of American firepower already there. This is written by Jake Epstein, right? That's a small hatter. It says here, the Pentagon ordered a second U.S. Navy carrier strike group to the Eastern Mediterranean. The USS Dwight D. Eisenhower and several other vessels will be joining of ships already in the area. The USS force posture is meant to support Israel and prevent the war with Hamas from spreading. Right, they're getting ready to flatline that land and take it over. Right, it says the Pentagon has dispatched a second U.S. Navy carrier strike group to the Eastern Mediterranean in a move that will deliver additional American firepower to the waters near Israel as fears mount that its war with Hamas could worsen and spiral into a regional conflict. Right, there's speculation out there that, now I don't know if this is true, but there's speculation that they really want to level that place to build up a third temple. I don't know how true that is. Like I said, that's speculation. And another thing is that the real devout Ashkenazis, I can't even say the word. I don't even know how I could bring you to where I want you to go without being flagged. The Ashkenaz have their Messiah. Look this up. They have this guy who's young. He's like in his 30s. They treated him like he is a Yahweh Shai, some to that nature. They're reverencing him and saying that he memorized the Torah, this, that, and the third. Look it up. So people are speculating that they're trying to build the third temple, put this man there. I don't know. It's funny how people speculate because they believe in that Christian doctrine of the Antichrist or whatever, but there's many Antichrists. But nonetheless, we know that it's a power grab, it's a power move, and they're trying to flatline Hamas just to take control of more land, right? That is obvious. What they're going to do with the land and how they're going to operate from then on, not sure. Continuing, the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower carrier strike group is moving into the area as part of our effort to deter hostile actions against Israel or any efforts towards widening this war following Hamas attack on Israel. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said in a statement on Saturday. The strike group includes the aircraft carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, the guided missile cruiser USS Philippine Sea, and guided missile destroyer USS Gravely and USS Mason. So these are heavy, not even counting how much, like, be honest with you, the land of Israel does not need help with Hamas at all, right? For them to send that kind of firepower there is irrelevant. But Iran did say that if it continues, if things continue to go the way they've been continuing, that they will send more firepower to that land, right? That's how about Shem Yahushai putting the hooks on these nations, bringing them closer in, right? Because this little conflict is easily settled just by, the small hatters. They can handle all that smoke, and but it's turning into something much bigger. It says, quote, the increases to U.S. forces posture signal the United States ironclad committed to Israel's security and our resolve to deter any state or non-state actor seeking to escalate this war, Austin said. USS Eisenhower and its accompanying surface ship left the U.S. on Friday as part of a regularly scheduled deployment to participate in exercises in the U.S. European Command, also known as the USEUCOM, area of responsibility, which in addition to Europe includes parts of Asia, the Middle East, and the Arctic and Atlantic Oceans. Washington was reportedly considering sending the Eisenhower's carrier strike group to the eastern Mediterranean earlier this week, but no formal decision has been made at the time. The Eisenhower and its escort ships will join the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier strike group, which arrives Tuesday after it was deployed to the region in response to last week's brutal Hamas terror attacks in Israel. The strike group, a massive display of firepower, right? Because Esau is blessed with the sword, pertaining to Genesis. I want to say Genesis. I'm not going to butcher it, but, when Jacob and Esau were getting their blessings, Esau was getting the short end of the stick, and he wanted, a proper blessing. He got the sword. He should live and die by it. So when they're saying massive firepower, it is top-notch level firepower. It says includes the aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. Ford, the guided missile cruiser USS Normandy, and the guided missile destroyer USS Thompson Hudner, USS Ramage, USS Carney, and USS Roosevelt. I mean, look at this thing, man. Look how big that thing is. Israel's war against Hamas military group, which has been going for a week now, has spread fears, and the bloodshed could expand into regional conflict and draw in Iran, right? Because it is rumored that Iran has funded this. I spoke about this. We just had a news was reporting on 4 U.S. soldiers were traded for 4 Iranian soldiers and it wasn't in major news either. A lot of people don't speak about this, but the U.S. gave them their 4 prisoners and $6 billion. Now, ex-President Trump said that those $6 billion were used to fund this attack, which is not true, because those funds are being held in I believe it's South Korean bank, where Iran could only draw out funds if needed for aid and stuff of that nature. But technically, Iran doesn't need that money to wage war. They got oil. They got oil money, so they don't really need that, right? But you see that the U.S. and Iran are already at war behind closed doors, right? Because they already had Iranian prisoners, just like the Iranians had American prisoners. But you don't hear about that, right? Back to the article where it's highlighted in blue. It says expand into regional conflict and draw in Iran or another one of its proxies, like Lebanon, Hezbollah. Both Hamas and Hezbollah are designated as foreign terrorist organizations by the U.S. State Department. White House and Pentagon officials have said that the movement of carrier strike groups is meant to prevent this from happening. The arrival of these highly capable forces to the region is a strong signal of deterrence should any actor hostile to Israel consider trying to take advantage of this situation, said General Michael Kurilla, the commander of U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, said in a statement this weekend. U.S. Navy ships aren't the only NATO military assets sent out in response to the Israel-Hamas war. The U.S. has augmented existing air power in the area with additional F-15, F-16, and A-10 aircraft. And Britain deployed several naval ships. You see how now we have Britain in this thing, right? So technically, this is a UN war, right? This is the beast. Babylon riding on the beast, headed to the Middle East, towards the land of Armageddon, where it's going down, the Lord's judgment, but the bear, Russia, will flatline Babylon, Lord willing, really soon. It says surveillance aircraft and company of Royal Marines on Thursday to the eastern Mediterranean. Tensions across the Middle East skyrocketed after the initial Hamas attack against Israel on October 7, which killed at least 1,300 people, mostly civilians, and injured more than 3,200 others, according to the latest figures. In response to the attack, Israel immediately began bombing what it has said are Hamas targets across the Gaza Strip, killing over 2,200 people and injuring nearly 9,000, according to the United Nations. And also, right now, the way the small hatters used to bomb Hamas and all them was they would warn the people like minutes before a bomb went off, which doesn't make any sense, because how are you going to get ready in minutes? What if you don't get the call, or the TV is not on, or you don't get the message, right? They give you about 2 minutes to get ready. They send you an alert or a message saying, hey, we're about to bomb your building. You got to get out of there. And, you got 2 minutes to get the kids ready, get dressed, head out. By the time you even hit the front door, you're done. They no longer give warnings. They stopped that. Right? But the Ishmaelites over there have hostages, as you saw in the coming days. They have hostages, and they had warned the small hatters that if you don't give warnings before bombing, we are going to execute a hostage for everyone, for every building you take down. You can look this up. They have video recordings of the people in charge of those attacks publicly warning of these things, right? We have to be vigilant. We have to be watching. It says Israel's military says the relentless aerial campaign, which has resulted in civilian casualties and turned entire neighborhoods to rubble, right? Because that's the plan. You want to flatline this thing, turn it into a parking lot. It says is a precursor to an imminent ground invasion of the coast enclave as a means to crush Hamas. In preparation for this, the country on Thursday ordered everyone in northern Gaza to evacuate to the south. UN and human rights organizations officials expressed serious alarm and concern over the development and the offensive, urging immediate de-escalation to prevent an already dire humanitarian situation from getting worse. Things are spicing up. This is Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 1. Also, thou son of man, prophesied unto the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Thus said the Lord, your power, the Lord the power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai power, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in our possession, which that land over there where that conflict is has been taken and trodden down of the nations, right? You see Ishmael and you see Edom there. They're mocking us, right? They mock us because the Lord has not came for us. It says, therefore prophesy and say, thus said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai power, because they have made you desolate. Talk about Israel, right? They have destroyed us, took us out the land. After 70 AD, it all began. They had oppressed us, whooped us to a point where we don't even know. They beat us out of recognition, man. But this is high time that we had came out of sleep, and now we know who we are, right? But they got to pay for that. It says, and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, which we did, pertaining to Deuteronomy 28:68. We went, the southern kingdom went ships to these places, and the northern kingdom was shipped and also oppressed around this time. And ye are taken up in the lips of talkers and are an infamy of the people, right? Because all they see us as is people just niggas and spicks killing each other, dancing and selling drugs. We're famous for negative things. That's what infamy means. It's verse 4. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, talking about the location in which they took and inhabited and made their own. It says, hear the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai the power. Thus said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai the power to the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. He's talking to you, so-called small hatters, right? Amalek, Edom, Idumea, Ishmael. That's you, the residue of the heathen, right? Because that land is going to be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, which we're working on. The Lord is working on that. It's like the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is working on that. That power play, the Armageddon power play. Verse 5, therefore thus said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai power, Surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea. All Idumea. Not some, not the ones who believe, and the ones, who are goody two shoes on this side, handing out ham sandwiches to the poor. No, it says all Idumea, which have appointed my land unto their possession with the joy of all their hearts. And guess what they did there? They started having alphabet soup parades, man, with rainbow flags and men in skimpy outfits and stuff like that. They polluted the land, man. It says, with despiteful minds to cast out for a prey. Right? Ishmael was the day that Ishmael set foot in that war or that attack, they attacked a rave. They was having a rave in that land where women was dancing in scantily clad clothing. And Ishmael went, and the Lord used Ishmael this time as a whooping stick and made an example of everybody over there, wiped everybody down. Right? It says, verse 6, prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel. Right? Because it's not, Yahweh Shem Yahushai had already, beat the people Israel into submission, man. And the ones that's waking up, man, it's the one that's going to be sent as hunters, the 144, and the 1/3 will be exempt from what's coming. Lord willing, I'm finding that number. Right? It says, the hills to the rivers and to the valleys. Thus said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai power. Behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Verse 7. Therefore, thus said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai power. I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. Right? Because they're gonna realize, the people that don't know, the ones who's pawns in this thing, are going to realize that they made a big mistake, that Allah is not really your God, and that Hashem does not love you. Right? Because a lot of people are ignorant to these things. Verse 8, but ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches, and yield your fruit to my people of Israel. Right? All your riches and everything, you're going to have to give that to us. Everything that you fought for and destroyed, pillaged, and took, you're going to have to give it back. For they are at hand to come. Man, what a beautiful thing, man. To be able to see the fall of the enemies. Right? To watch the bear, Russia, destroy Babylon. It's what I'm hoping for, man. And I'm watching at the edge of my seat. I hope, I pray, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will allow me to see the fall of this kingdom. This is Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 18. And it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog, talk about Russia, the bear, right? This is after the MARK has been established, right? The Lord's going to have this place flatlined by Gog. It says, and it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog shall come against the land of Israel, said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai power, that my fury shall come up in my face. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel, so that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence. And the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. There's going to be a great shaking of the earth at that point, man. People are just going to be melting from the fervent heat of war. It says, verse 21, and I will cast for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua power. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. Right? And I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and will rain upon him and upon his bands. Bands is also the militaries. Right? And upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him, and overflowing rain and great hailstones, fire and brimstone. That's what's going to happen, man. It's going to be angel fire raining down. Verse 23, thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. With that, I'm going to say shalom.